Man, you can't see the paintings. I can show you as I go. So this is just small little baby canvas, cheap. I forget where I got it. But when I came in, for some reason I looked at all the turquoise paints, and like I thought about, I forget what the scripture says, but it's like around him was an emerald rainbow. It's like the emerald rainbow, and I just thought of turquoise. And so I'm almost gonna just do like an abstract of just like the emerald rainbow. That's kind of what I thought of. So, and I love turquoise. That's like my favorite color. So we should get started. I could be like Bob Ross and have like my, where's my, I don't even get water. Oh no! Get my, I forget what this is called. Just my freaking paint holder thingy. But it ain't got a hole, so I can't be like, the colors of the day are, you know, remember Bob Ross used to do that? He's like, here's the colors of the day. You got a shade of forest. I'll be like, here's my cheap acrylic, Dollar Rodney. That color it's about 50 cents, man. Good paint. Does the trick, though. You don't need expensive paints to paint. You don't even know how to paint to paint. You just let your inhibitions go and you have fun. That's all you gotta do. I need more turquoises, by the way, because if that's my favorite color, I feel like that's lacking. We got these, though. They're kind of turquoises. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, this one's desert turquoise. That's your Americana dollar. I don't know how much that is. Caribbean. Oh, 2 Caribbeans. And another. Oh, I must like these because I got 2 of the same. Alright, and then we got greens. Yeah. Pistachio mint. That sounds delicious. Festive green. I'm not very festive this year. And then I have random other paints everywhere. So, let me just give you some tips. How about this? Oh, that's an idea. Now we're actually making something. We're making something happen. Now, I'll give you some tips, like if you've never painted, and you're like, oh, I don't know how to, or, you know, you feel a little uncertain on it. Here's your basics. Now, I actually have a theme to the video that I'm doing other than just painting. We'll start with this. A nice paint holder. I don't know what it's called. I don't have any fancy words for that one. I could be like, you need your easel. Actually, I don't like using easels. I'll give you a little representation. This is like an easel. I mean, this is an easel, but it's a baby easel. It's usually just something where you can position the painting so it's secure. You have somewhere secure to kind of, I feel like this is off. You have somewhere secure to set the painting to paint on. It's not very necessary. It just depends on your preference. See, like that. Sometimes people paint like this. They're like, you know, they got it upright. Me, I like it down. I like looking down at it. So that's one thing. Of course, you need canvas. You can get cheap stuff at like Walmart. I've gotten it at Big Lots. I don't think it makes sense to really pay extra money to get like quality canvas or quality paint. I mean, it might last longer, but all the stuff I've ever made, whatever. This is just like cheap stuff. I like this song. Okay, and then this is good too. Acrylic gesso. Probably said that wrong. This is good for smoothing down the canvas. So like, This is kind of jacked up anyways. I don't know what happened to that. I already put gesso on that. But when you get canvas, I mean, it's not smooth. It's like a tapered kind of cloth that's over sometimes just like cardboard. Unless it's more fancier, then it's like wood. So this is good. This is the base. Something you want to lay down before you lay down your paint. And then when you're doing your painting, of course you want a projected thought of what you're painting, unless you're just going for it, because sometimes I just pick a color. Like now I'm going to go for the emerald rainbow around his throne. I'm going to just dive in there, man. I got my gesso on there, and then I'm going to just dive in. But for another starting point, when you dive in, you want to have a backdrop color. So, like for instance, let's see with this one, I picked blue as the backdrop color. I was like, okay, what do we want? So I thought blue. And then that way you're not starting something off and then you have to paint the backdrop, you know, along with it. So there's another good tip other than picking out your paints. Just pick out what you want. Here's also what I use. I use like a crappy bowl. Get some water in there. Pick a bowl or a cup that you want to destroy and get yourself one. And then that way, that's like your little, that's where you dip your paint sticks, your paint brushes. I'm like, sorry, that's not even correct. And then of course you see my different paint brushes. I've gotten some different quality ones. These are a little better quality. Actually, the one thing I would invest in when you're painting is good paint brushes. Because if you get cheap ones like these are crap. This is like, I don't know, the bristles are just like not quality. Breaks off. A lot of times when you're painting, it can break off onto the canvas and it drives you crazy. Like I said, some of these like gold tip ones are a little more higher end, nicer. Different tips give different effects. You see how that one's all curved? This one I've destroyed. That's not even good anymore. You can use sponges. Sponges are fun to use. Or you can use your fingers, because I do that one. You can just go at it, man, and freaking, I kind of did this one with my fingers up here. I was like, so that works good. I can't really think of anything else. What do you think, Boo-Boo? Just saw my cat. She's like, what are you doing? You're being weird. So that's a starting point. I don't know. I start a vibe, you know. Sometimes I'm worshiping. Sometimes I'm just listening to music. Yeah, and then of course paints. You gotta invest in quite a few different paints. If you want to get something like here's a cheap one I got. Whatever. This is all oil, which I really don't care to use. Those are kind of old and crappy. But that's like a palette you can buy. You can buy all the colors in the palette. I don't like working with oil really. It's hard to spread and it takes forever to dry. So then I just buy these cheapy like acrylics. These really are probably like $1 each. Or a little bit more, but you can get all kinds. And I have all kinds here, so. Anyways, should we get started with painting? If you want to weigh them. Okay. So, while I was getting my water and then meandered about. Meandered, whatever. Anyways, just to highlight, I forget who spoke the word. I know the Lord spoke to me about it a while back. I think it was just within the vision. But there's something about Isaiah. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Here's my Baba. That's my Baba right there. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was just looking at it too. And so, a few years back, the vision he gave me was Isaiah 60. And I'm going to just read it to you. I think it was 60, maybe it's 61. Of course, I can't remember nothing. Okay, hold on. Oops. Sorry there. I'm gonna just have to look it up. And actually, I just realized I'm tired. Wait. I'm in Jeremiah. I went right on over to Jeremiah. Skipped right on out of Isaiah. Did I say Jeremiah? I think I said Isaiah. Okay. Here it is. Yes, there it is. Okay. Let me find the... anything in the world. I just want you to be my woman. I should have prepared. So I guess it is 61. The good news of salvation. Darn it, I thought it was Isaiah 60. Okay, well I read a word on Isaiah 60. And that a lot of us are an Isaiah 60 people in this season. But for some reason I was thinking it was Isaiah 61. But I'll just show you my painting because that's what I'm talking about anyways. I was going to show you the vision I had though, where it says, darn it, if I can find it, hold on. Rejoice in the Lord, I shall be joyful, my God, for he has clothed me with the garments of salvation. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decks himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorns herself with jewels. For the earth brings forth its bud, as the garden causes the things that are sown in the spring to spring forth, so the Lord will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before the nations. That's not it either. Well, we're not going anywhere anyways. Actually, you know what? Okay, here. You know what I realized? I wrote it on the back. This painting that I did was one of the most trying, stretching. There it is. Darn it. It's 61, Isaiah 61, 3. Just Isaiah 61, 3. But I'm all over the place, sorry. So he gave me a vision of the trees of righteousness. And it says, I'll just read all of it. I'll read Isaiah 61, 1 through, I'll read 1 through 3. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach the good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn in Zion, to console those who mourn. To comfort all those who mourn, to console those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. And that's big. You know, there has been a spirit of heaviness over this nation. There's been a spirit of divide and, a spirit of divide. Especially within the body. Like, it's been crazy. As long as we don't take the bait and we stay in the unity of the Spirit, which he also talked to me about today with Ephesians 4. No, wait. I think it's 4. Whatever. You'd have to look it up. I'm not good with that. Wait, you know what? I think I can post it here. Hold on. That's not it. I'm manifesting. Sorry. One way or another, I'm gonna just break the box that people put me in. People are like, oh my gosh, she's being where? Glory. Dude, now I can't find it, bro. What's up with that? Right when I left, I started getting whacked in the floor. Blah blah. Okay, well here's my painting. This is probably, like I said, one of the most trying paintings ever. It's one of the most powerful. And it's one of those like supernatural paintings where you're like, dude, I could have not have done that if it wasn't for the Lord. So this one is called Trees of Righteousness. And it's like I said, it represents, of course, oh my goodness, it's upside down. You can't tell, man. I must be tired. Sorry. So yeah, the tree of righteousness, which is settled on the earth because we are the trees of righteousness that are to impact the nations. The righteous sons and daughters of the living God, coming into the full manifestation of right identity. So yeah, and I really could not do the universe for the life of me. I literally was so close to throwing this in the trash. And I did this time and again. It's kind of like it became like that, like a circling galaxy or whatever. But it's probably one of my favorites, just in the sense because it was so hard to do. That took me like almost 6 months. I mean, yeah, I was inconsistent with finishing it, but also because it was a pain in the butt. So yeah, once again it says, they may be called trees of righteousness, which we are, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. Because we're planted all throughout this earth. We're going to bring that glory, baby. Bring it, baby! So that's a little something, something. I'm all over the place tonight. I probably shouldn't have even done a video because I'm tired. But I figured, why not? It's my Friday. And I wanted to paint. So, here I am. So let's get this started. One other thing I didn't tell you about when you finish paintings, but I'll have to maybe point that out another time. I ran out of it. Anyways, it's a sealer. So when you paint, you usually want to seal your paintings with, it's pretty much like a sealant or whatever, to make it smooth. I won't go get it. There's an empty bottle out there, but I've jacked around enough here. I don't even know how long it's been. How long has it been? So usually I ask Lord, I go, where do you want to go with this? Because all you got to do is start looking. As soon as you start looking in your mind's eye or just settling yourself. So I just thank you, Lord, for clarity to see. I see it like swirling. I almost think like I should just use my hands or fingers or something. Sometimes there's different techniques, you know, creates different things. I remember for my birthday, it was the first painting I ever did upside down. But he told me to do it upside down. He's like, just do it upside down. And then as soon as I turned it around, it was like, whoa. And he loves flowers. Flowers is one of Jesus's favorites. Jesus likes sweets too. And he loves horses and he likes unicorns. And there is unicorns in heaven. And he has a lot of them. And I have a unicorn in heaven too. And it's got a rainbow mane. And it's sparkly. Like it's translucent sparkly. It's beautiful. It's probably going to be a Pegasus though, because I like Pegasus. Pegasus. Yeah, and that's right. Yeah. You can even ask. And if you look around my house, I got a lot of freaking unicorns. Oh my god, how many unicorns in here? I got all the horses. I got a lot of stuff everywhere. I've always been that way, though. I've always put stuff on my walls. Like, even if I showed you this one, you'll be like, oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot I can turn this. Cool. This is gone. I feel like it's dragging, though. And I feel like I can't really paint knowing that it's on. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to continue with it. Stop trying around. And then you're eventually going to hear me sing. Stop trying around. Dragging around, stop dragging around. Oh, that one's jacked up. Yeah. Sometimes all you gotta do is just glop it on there. Oops, like that. Ooh, and then you make mistakes. But then they turn into wonderful, beautiful mistakes. It's essentially all you're doing. If you can't let your inhibitions go at what perfection is when you paint, then you're not going to have fun. And I personally think when you paint, you should have fun. You can never compare yourself to anyone else in craft, in any avenue of that. There's times when I did that when I first started painting. You know, I tried to limit myself. See, look, I already did a faux pas on that though, because I was like, I gotta do a backdrop. Well, I didn't do a backdrop. I mean, I didn't do a background color. But that's because I think I'm going to just kind of let it go all over the place and then it will eventually cover it. But yeah, you never know where it's going. And sometimes that can be frustrating, but it also can be liberating because Like with this one, where I was like, I'm losing my crap over this crap. Like, I had a hard time, but each time I kind of, I added depth to it. I added more character to it, even though I was thinking I was messing it all up. Oh, this is one of my favorite songs. Actually, I named my my dog after this song because I love it. It's his kid's name. There you go. So let's try that. You know what I realized too? I like thickness. So oils wouldn't be a bad idea to start using. But I almost like I like the acrylic to dry in a big, thick clump. So here's what we got right now. Woo! It's beautiful. And I'm just kind of playing with it, man. Another thing too you might want to get is like get cardboard. That way when it dries you can just set it on there. You can set it wherever you want. You can just set it down. So that's a good start. And of course, like, you're gonna reach a point where you're like, I have no idea where to go from there. Sometimes you just start that quickly. Oh, like, sorry, this is... you can start at that point and then just feel like you're done. Like, sometimes I'll come in here and I'll paint like within like 15 minutes and I've already done like not a whole piece, but I've gotten a good idea of where it's going. Like this, I'm like, I want that to kind of, it's dripping now, you see. Oops, okay, it's like, that's not allowed. I want it to just kind of drip naturally, however it wants to fall. And we're going somewhere with it. I almost feel like it's gonna go out into like different highlighted hues of I guess like an emerald rainbow. I think I'll probably put more colors in there too. But doesn't that already look cool? See, I did that pretty quick, right?